Houston, we have a problem.
Give me all you got!
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Give me back my gun! I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stand and Watch, the premiere and I'm pretty sure only dad movie podcast on the market. I am your host, Matt Fresh.
And I'm your other host, Nick Kaufman. And Matt, I'll have you know, I did some research, and there are no other dads that do podcasting.
There's no other dads that do podcasting?
No other dads. I'm the only dad that is podcasting right now.
Incredible. Are there any other non-dads doing dad movies?
No, they're not doing them either because they don't want to be dads and they don't want to be doing dad movie podcasts.
Great, and now no one's going to start either because they'll be like, well, we can't compete with that, so let's not even try.
They're not going to want to step on our toes, and I say to them, good riddance. Yeah, don't step on our fucking toes.
Yeah, you step on our toes, you get the horn.
You step on my toes, you get the whole fucking foot.
But careful there, some people might like that.
That's true. And I just realized I cursed in like the first minute of the podcast. So I think the podcast algorithm gods are going to push this down to the bottom of the pile.
Is it, I thought that was just a YouTube thing.
No, it's everywhere. The algorithm's everywhere, Matt. Don't you know that? Listening right now.
Is the algorithm just a single entity?
Yeah. Single entity that, we all brought to life by thinking about it and making it real. And it punishes us when we do things that the algorithm is not pleased by.
Well, you know what? Ethan Hunt will stop it.
Who's Ethan Hunt?
You don't know Ethan Hunt? The famous
is that
the famous super spy?
Is that Tom Cruise? I don't call him Ethan Hunt in those movies. I just call him Tom Cruise.
You just call him Tom Cruise?
I just call him Tom Cruise.
But they say his name so much.
They're like, I remember from the Fallout trailer, like his ex-wife is like, how's Ethan? And then the his friend, the guy that's been in all of the other ones with him. Who is it?
Simon Pegg?
Not
no,
Simon. Simon
Ving
Pegg
Rhames.
wasn't in all of them.
Ving
Rhames
Rhames
is like, it's just Ethan being Ethan. Yeah, I know his name from that, but it's Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, but what about when Alec Baldwin says, Hunt is the manifestation of destiny?
See, I forgot Alan. I forgot that he was in those, but I also just call him by his name.
Just Alec Baldwin.
Oh, there's Alec Baldwin. Oh, they killed Alec Baldwin. Oh no.
You know what they call him now? Blasting Baldwin.
They call him Blasting. That's sad. that footage of him, the case being dismissed was really heartbreaking.
My favorite footage of that is when the person on the stand is like talking about him and he looks uninterested, and then the jury's like, and did you call Mr. Baldwin a cocksucker? And he immediately perks his head up.
Well, yeah. Well, who likes being called a cocksucker?
No, it's incredible comedic timing.
I know him mainly from 30 Rock, but you know what threw me off? I watched Beetlejuice in the last year.
First
time? I didn't realize that was him. No, I've seen it before, but I didn't realize that was him in Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, I learned it was him a couple years ago, but like I never knew it was him. I think that's the only movie where he's like thin.
Super thin, super young looking.
Yeah.
Him, and then Winona Ryder. I didn't realize that was her. Because again, I think I had only known her from so many things. I think her career kind of took a dip after she shoplifted, if I'm recalling correctly.
Yeah. I always knew that was her, but Baldwin, I was like, what?
I had no idea.
Yeah, but now I can't unsee it.
Right. Now, after you see it, you're like, oh shit, that's that guy. Holy shit. There have been a few of those, but that's the one that always comes to mind.
Yeah. It's because I feel like the next big movie he was in was Hunt for Red October, where he looks like the Alec Baldwin we kind of know.
Was he in the Wall Street remake or the Wall Street sequel they did?
I don't think so.
Because he wasn't in the 80s Wall Street movie, right?
I don't believe so.
Greed is Good. That was
Michael Douglas.
Slater. That was Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. He was in Glengarry Glen Ross. Oh, but you said you haven't seen that.
I have not. That's on my list, and for some reason, that's one of those movies that has like come up like 200 times in the last year.
Great movie.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this Glengarry again? I didn't realize there. Who are the Glens? Who are these Glens that I?
Alec Baldwin's got a great. He's in it for like one scene. It's magnificent.
You know, he was also in Henry and the Henderson.
Was he really?
He was Henry.
I thought that was John Lithgow.
No, he was Henry.
So who
Henry
was?
Henry was the Bigfoot character, right?
Oh, he was the Bigfoot character.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
yeah, that was him. You didn't recognize him?
No.
He had gained a little weight at that point in his career, but that's him.
Did he grow the fur too?
Yeah, all that fur, authentic.
Wow. True actor right there. Jared Leto could never.
He was really the first method guy I was aware of. I was old enough to become aware of. He actually went and lived in the woods up in Oregon for like a year to get ready for that role.
Anytime I see a movie with one of the other Baldwins, I always just feel like I'm watching an Alec Baldwin impersonator.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie with another Baldwin in it.
You've never seen The Usual Suspects?
I have not.
Oh, I saw recently. I watched the this is going to be a good segue. I watched the movie Backdraft recently.
Backdraft. I don't think I've seen that either. What is that?
It's about firefighters. It's got Kurt Russell and Robert De Niro and Donald Sutherland.
Yeah,
and directed by Ron Howard, and the main guy is not who is it? It's Billy Baldwin.
Is Alec the oldest?
Alec, I think so. So Backdraft is like the youngest Baldwin, and I'm watching this movie, and it's a good movie, and he's fine in it. But like, all I'm thinking is like, I feel like I'm watching like an Alec Baldwin lookalike, like a fake Alec Baldwin. They couldn't afford Alec Baldwin. They ordered him. Alibaba Alec Baldwin.
Alec had auditioned for it, and they saw his price tag, and they went out into the hall and saw Billy sitting there waiting for him. And some casting agent was like, rubbing their chin, like, let's get him.
We liked Alec. We need that Baldwin charm and that Baldwin look, but we can't afford the main Baldwin. What do we do? Well, there's another Baldwin. Give that man a raise, but not the Baldwin.
I have a thought. I think that everything bad that an actor does, like as soon as the news comes out, like casting directors and casting agents are just like licking their chops. Like, oh my God, it just went on sale. Alec Baldwin is on sale, you guys. Let's get him.
Oh, like that's their Black Friday?
Yeah, so like when Will Smith slapped the shit out of somebody was in the back making cha-ching, cha-ching noises.
Ooh, the Bad Boys 4 budget just went down.
We got him, ladies and gentlemen.
Bad
Boys 4 just became way cheaper.
We got a hit sale on Brad Pitt right now, fellas. Who's picking him up?
Who's getting Brad? We got to get Brad. And then there are those items that like just completely fall off because of the terrible shit they did. So like a scummy casting director will be like walking and see like fucking who is that in A Beautiful Mind? And
Russell Crowe?
Yeah, Russell Crowe's probably in the dollar bin right now.
Is he?
I feel like he's in the dollar bin. He's always fighting somebody.
Is he? He's not fighting anybody anymore.
Not anymore. But when he was, they're like, oh, he got into another fight. Get that man out the dollar bin. We got a buddy cop movie for him.
I don't know.
I bet you they got him super cheap for Nice Guys.
I don't know. You know what? I feel like he's having fun in his old fat guy era.
I do like his old fat guy era, but my belly sticks out. But when I saw his belly, I felt pretty good about myself.
Yeah, like there was a stretch there where he was like in like just like good movie after good movie for like a solid few years, and then he just comes back as like old fat guy Russell Crowe, just having a good time,
drinking all the beer that he wants.
Yeah,
he's fighting, but everyone like just doesn't care anymore, so he can fight in private.
I've had my gladiators and my 310 to Yumas. It's time for jolly old Saint Crow.
And then there are those super scummy casting directors that like go up to the clerk at the desk. And they're like, "Hey, you got anything in the back that you're not really supposed to sell, but you can sell me for super cheap?" And the clerk goes to the back of the store and he
We got
comes back out with Kevin Spacey.
a we got a Mel Gibson if you want.
Yeah, we got Mel Gibson hanging out back here.
Yeah.
Hey, you want Wesley Snipes? He'll do a quick cameo for you.
We got a Steven Seagal.
Oh no. You can get Steven Seagal like, oh man, I don't even
Oh,
how low can you go to get Steven Seagal?
they're like they're like those people who sell like 25-cent Gucci bags on the street. Hey, my man, I got 25-cent Steven Seagal here. You want? Action star, does his own stunts. 25. Nah, 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 nah. Okay, 15. 10 cents. No. Okay, 2 cents. Okay.
He's like someone trying to get you into an MLM, and you are desperate enough to do it. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'll give you 500 for the Steven Seagal B movie starter set, I guess.
Hey man, I got premium. I got premium Gucci bag stars here to cash in your movie. Oh yeah, what do you got? Got a Johnny Depp right here. 30 cents.
You get Johnny Depp is the prize at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box. It's like, oh shit, we got him. We got him for a movie. He's gonna do Ringo too. That's the other thing. I feel like it's a lot of voice acting.
Oh.
It's
Hey,
less work.
ladies,
They're in the
ladies and
booth for,
gentlemen,
what, a
ladies
few
and
days?
gentlemen, Jack Black is finally on sale.
Oh my god! Can we talk before we start like our meat and potatoes? Can we talk about how awful that trailer is?
I didn't watch it. I've only seen the I
So
Am
I mean,
Steve.
it's a movie for kids, and it's probably going to be a pretty good movie for kids. But
Is it though?
seriously,
I feel like it's gonna be a bad movie for kids.
but even a bad movie for kids, for those kids, it's still a good movie.
I guess, but like, there's so many good movies for kids. Like, it's like, yeah, a kid's
No?
gonna enjoy a Lunchable, but make them a real sandwich, you know?
Well, I started to think about it, and the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, this is just going to be video game Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But it's gonna have a similar message to the Lego movie where, hey, you can break the rules and still have fun. Like, you're not a broken human being if you break the rules. Um, I hope. I hope.
I
Because
don't
I
know.
mean, I'm not saying it's a bad movie, and I know we're not supposed to, hate on things in the open, but that was just a rough trailer, dude.
I've heard people say, and I could get behind this, that Jack Black's not really Steve. He's just some guy who's there who thinks he's Steve, but there's a bunch of other Steves.
Okay, I kind of like that theory. There was a line in the movie that I had I replayed it on a loop because it's just so bad. I'm gonna play it for you real quick.
Oh, God.
And it comes from one of the kids, so hopefully, like, just out of context. It's that this guy is it's the delivery of it.
Oh,
Also, Tool Bag feels very 2010s, and I get it. Minecraft is from the 2010s.
yeah. If I don't know how well that got picked up, but it was a little British. It was a little British boy going, "Is that the tool bag?"
I mean, so I watched that. I played that specific line on a loop on my computer until my eyes started bleeding, and I threw my computer across the room because
Oh,
I was like, I need to listen to it over and over again so I stop hating it. But I kept hating it. I was like, oh my god, why'd they put this in the trailer?
I don't think it's gonna be a video game Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But if they ever made a video game Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that would be a good movie. But you got to get all the video game characters in there.
That would be, oh my god, you're kind of talking me into it. Who would be the so like you it would be a made up video game character
It
that would
would be
star in it.
Yeah, it would be a made up video game character, but like a bunch of real characters.
Mario and Sonic would be like in the background smoking like weed,
Yeah.
and
Well, you could
the
have
main character and the detective would go up to them and be like, they'd be like, "Hey, what are you smoking?" And Mario would be like, "What's your problem? It's illegal."
It's a mushroom.
And Sonic's like, "I gotta go fast," and he holds up a bag of speed.
Well, you can have like them in it the way like Mickey Mouse and Bugs were in like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, just a real quick cameo.
Yeah, and then like the other characters, you just be like the B-listers, whatever. Get like a, I don't know, get like a Sackboy in there.
Sackboy, get Doom Guy and Master Chief in there in the background.
Yeah, get a Marcus Phoenix. Get
Ooh.
get a Spyro or a Ratchet and Clank.
And so so the main bad guy used dip to like erase old cartoons. What would this guy do? What would this bad guy in this movie do? Would he just like bring a CEO in to be like, hey, we're writing you off. You're a tax write off. Get out of game land. You're gone.
He would bring in a Call of Duty game that would take up too much space, so they'd all have to be deleted.
Yes. Okay. So it's a CEO who's buying up properties in Gameland and gentrifying it and forcing the lesser games to move out. The games with less
Yeah.
less fan base, less
Crash
people who cheer
Bandicoot,
for
Crash Bandicoot, you're evicted. We need more room for Call of Duty.
Spyro the Dragon. It looks like you're chasing the dragon because you're moving out.
Okay, who would be the human though?
The human would be a disgraced esport gamer that tried being a private detective, and well, just like the main character from Roger Rabbit, like his wife died or his wife left him.
His brother was killed by a tune, so I guess this guy's wife was killed by a video game character.
This guy's wife was killed by Astrobot. It was a terrible VR accident. She was playing with Astrobot in a VR game. It was kind of a sex thing going on, and her and Astrobot died during it.
Oh,
and
God.
He's been haunted by it ever since because he drove her into the arms of Astrobot.
Who would play this person?
Who would play this person?
Yeah.
I say give it to Matthew Lillard.
Really?
Give it to Matthew Lillard. He's got range.
He does have range. I feel like you could have him as the CEO. Let him, because he can be very untethered. Just a deranged CEO.
You know who I was going to suggest as a CEO?
Who?
And we were talking about him earlier.
Who?
Kind of want to give it to Will Ferrell.
Oh, that could be in his unofficial CEO of a toy company trilogy.
Yeah, finish up his trilogy. And you know what? I like Matthew Lillard, but give Matthew Lillard like the second billing and make the main detective John C. Reilly. We gotta get them back together. They broke up over that Lakers show because Will wanted to play Jerry Buss, and Adam McKay gave it to John C. Reilly instead, which was great casting, by the way.
Yeah, let them go to blows to repair their relationship.
Oh my God, Matt, we have to write this movie.
Oh, we do. Can we write it without having the rights to any of it?
Yeah, we can write around that.
Can we just write it without the rights, and then it'll be so good that they'll be like, yes, we'll buy all the rights.
Yes. Hey, you know what? If they're willing, if someone's willing to fucking option Ready Player One, and then get all the rights for all those characters for that movie, I think someone would be. We can't have people stealing it though. We can't have people stealing our idea.
Let's go. We'll write this up. We'll call Spielberg.
Hold on. Trademark, copyright, Okay, everything we just said, I just trademarked and copyrighted.
Yeah. Okay. It's been 20 minutes. We should talk about one of these movies.
Hold on. I'm mailing this podcast to myself and not opening the envelope. That means I have copyright. Okay.
We'll put in the letter to Spielberg. Someone can be divorced in the movie if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there won't be a kiss.
There won't be?
No, he doesn't like that, apparently.
Spielberg doesn't. Oh, because he told him in Twister, like, don't make them kiss.
Anyway, it's been 20 minutes. We should get going because this is a double feature.
Jesus, I forgot about the double feature.
Oh, we got to speed things along here. We got two movies that are loosely connected. Two amazing movies. It's a double chunk episode here because it's a double feature. We got the theme of this double feature is men who have careers where they have to drive around.
The other connection is their one-word titles.
Yes, they're one-word titles featuring men who professionally drive for a living.
And before the show, Matt decided we were doing them in alphabetical order.
Yeah, it's what makes the most sense.
For everyone that goes by the American alphabet.
I feel like this is a very American-centric podcast. And Canada. And the UK. But they all have the same alphabet.
We've got a pretty big backing in Bangladesh and Saudi Arabia.
Do we? Oh.
Yeah, they fund, and Russia, actually. A lot of what we do is funded by a few of those folks. I won't say which ones.
Oh, well, in that case, death to journalists.
I'm wearing my beanie that they bought me. Don't worry.
Yeah, never take that beanie off. No one can ever see you without it.
Never. They can never see my receding hairline.
Anyway, let's get this double feature started with Breakdown.
I've got the Wikipedia up. I'll tell you
All
what
right.
Breakdown is, everybody.
Incredible.
Breakdown is I'll break down Breakdown. Breakdown is a 1997 American action thriller film directed and co-written by Jonathan Mostow. Stars Kurt Russell, J.T. Walsh, which I believe is his last role, and Kathleen Quinlan. My favorite thing about this movie, by the way, it's only 93 minutes long.
Incredible.
Back when movies were allowed to be under 2 hours.
Bring back the tight 90.
Oh, it's a tight 90. Like, so much happens and it's still a tight 90.
This might be the tightest 90 I've ever seen.
They waste no time. They do waste a little bit of time with donuts, but even then, like,
yeah,
dude,
who doesn't love donuts, right? Just, you get a pack, whatever makes sense.
Man, I didn't think I was gonna like this movie because I'm always iffy on like 90s thrillers. I like this movie a lot.
I feel like good 90s thrillers just are incredible. Like a bad 90s thriller, the worst thing you've ever seen. A good 90s thriller hits like crack.
I just think it's tough because I just think 90s were like a really weird like era for movies until you get to like 99.
This movie's so good. I don't know why this isn't discussed more. This is like a forgotten classic.
I honestly, when you had it on the wheel, I had no idea what it was.
Really?
I had no idea. I was like, breakdown. Is that a football movie?
I watched it earlier this year because I had never heard of it, and all of a sudden, like I kept seeing, for some reason, within like the span of a week, like my timeline was filled with people just like talking about this movie, going, "Oh, Breakdown's so good. Nobody talks about Breakdown." I'm like, "What is this movie everyone's talking about all of a sudden?" It's from 1997 with Kurt Russell. So I finally watched it earlier this year. I was like, "This movie's fucking incredible." And then I was like, "We're doing a dad movie podcast. What should I put on the wheel?"
It is. Oh, I could praise this movie, but before you do that, do you want to pull up our dad approved letterbox reviews?
Yes, I do.
I'll go first. Right. So I pulled this one from Oliver, who is a patron to Letterboxd. Look at him go with that extra money. He gave it a 4-star review, and he says, "Truckers are the samurai of the American West." And I believe that. You could also argue that they're the cowboys of the American West.
Yeah.
They're more cowboys than cowboys, honestly. And truckers are scary. My friend's dad is a trucker, and he used to tell some crazy stories about his trucking.
Is he scary?
No, he's actually a nice little old man.
Oh, okay. All right. My review comes from Justin La Liberty, who is also a patron of Letterboxd.
Ooh la la.
Yeah. He gave this movie 4 stars as well and said, "I'd take the 90,000 donuts."
That is a reference to the 90,000 donuts or $90,000
dollars.
It would depend on the donuts. Like if I'm getting the chocolate or the powdered, maybe. But if you're giving me those cheap little, just
glazed,
crumble glazed, I'm passing. I'm taking the $90,000.
Yeah, give me the 90. All right, Breakdown. Let's get this show on the road with the criticism sandwich. Get that nice positive bun.
I'll start. This is a succinct movie. There is no wasted meat. It gets right to it. We're introduced to the characters. They're on the road. They're moving from Massachusetts in a Jeep that they just bought. The car breaks down, and his wife goes missing after she rides into town with a trucker to make a phone call. And then Kurt Russell's like, "Where's my wife? Give me my wife back." And he gets her back.
I have this. I'm taking notes now for these because you're showing me up on a podcast that I conceived of, and I have that same thing in my notes. It's so tightly paced. Just not a single minute of this is wasted.
There's no even like when he goes back to the diner for a second time and questions the same bar owner or the diner owner. Like I was like, no, this still feels really tight. I don't feel like, because movies like this normally, like they'll return to a place. Okay, like we already know
like why are we here again? But like he goes back and you're like, okay, no, there's a purpose to this now. It's like, okay, like he's angry now. He's doing more shit. It's like, are they involved? It works. Just all 90 minutes just are used to maximum effect. Just nothing's wasted. Everything's just perfectly built into that climax.
He does everything I would do if my wife went missing.
You would do all of this.
All of it. I would climb on the truck. I would be under the truck and then climb up over the top of it onto the side, and then down in between the trailer hitch. I would do it all because I love my wife and I would do anything to get her back.
All right. Well,
If
speaking
you're
of
listening, baby, I love you.
um Kurt Russell is so good in this.
He is just a man that has nothing to lose because he's already lost the most important thing to him.
He's so incredible. First of all, just as a normal, unassuming suburban dude, he's so likable as just this guy. This just upper middle. I don't even know. Yeah, this upper middle class, he's not an action hero. He's just a dude, and then he just switches into this pure desperation and rage as the movie continues, and it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's truly one of those because it's these truckers are like good old boys, like probably from like they pass as being from the South, right?
Yeah,
And it's one of those instances, and I compare it. And I haven't seen Deliverance in forever, but Deliverance, like there's always that trope of like the good old boys taking the city boy, like not taking the city boy seriously. And this is one of those instances where you fucked with the wrong city boy.
yeah. But like, it's not like you fucked with the wrong city boy. Like, oh, it's the Equalizer, and you fucked with the Equalizer, John. It's just like, no, like this is just a city boy who's just like, you fucked with him, and he went, you know what? This is what I got to do, and he does it. It's great. And the switch in demeanor when he pulls when after his wife goes missing, and like pulls the trucker over. He's like, "Hey, where's my wife, man? It's me." And he's just like, "I've never seen you before." And the switch when he just goes, "Come on, what are you doing?" Incredible.
Well, and see, I think all of the thrillers from the 2000s and the 10s broke me because I kept expecting like a twist. I kept expecting like she wasn't like I think you said your sister is like she's not real, right? The wife's not real.
No, my
Like,
sister. I watched this with my sister. She's like, "Is the wife in on it?"
See, that was where my brain was, or my brain was like, the wife isn't real. He's making all this up. There's no job in San Diego. He's just driving. He killed her years ago. So I was really relieved when there was like, no. The trucker really did do it. I was gaslighting myself into being like the trucker. She never got in that truck. It never happened.
Yeah, but yeah, his switch in demeanor, just like his pure, like, hey man, like, what are you doing? And then like the look on his face when he's like in the police station, just staring at the wall of missing people posters.
Right. And you're just like, yeah, well, obviously his wife is real and missing. Once you see those posters, you're like, well, obviously, right? But then again, my brain was like, nope, those posters are nope. He's the one special case where she's really not missing.
Yeah, but it's just,
that's how broken those other movies have made me.
Oh yeah, but he's just so good as just this he's just this normal dude, and just the switch to, oh my god, like my wife is missing, I'm never gonna see her again. And then he just, as he like uncovers this and gets closer to finding her, he gets just more and more just demented and angry.
He becomes scary. Scary.
Like when he's like, and he's just yelling at these people all the time. Like when he's like and this is a great form of torture, by the way. Duct taping the guy's throat to the car, the seat, like headrest.
Oh, that was fucking great. And then
slamming on the brakes, so it like chokes him. I've never seen that in a movie, and like that's incredible. Just very creative. And the way he's like, stop, and Kurt Russell just yells at him, "Oh, you want me to stop? I bet this baby stops in a fucking dime."
Oh, and he like, he is so fucking ballsy because he goes, like, he tells the guys that he has the money for the ransom, and knowing damn well he doesn't. And he fucking he fakes it. Like he fakes like these everything in what he gets, like big bills, but then he puts like ones in between them to try and trick them.
I don't even think he gets big bills. He gets like all ones, and he just wraps them in a thing that says like 1,000.
Oh shit, he didn't get, like, even on the outside it was, oh shit, I love him even more.
Yeah, right? Because he just thought that would like stall him for long enough. And it does stall him for just long enough, because he's like going through the money and he's smelling it like, yeah, that's great. And then he looks at it, and as soon as he looks at it, he notices, oh, this is all ones. But it was just long enough. And I'm going to tie this into one of my other positives is that I love how, like, because he's not an action hero, like, these little things that he does just keep going wrong for him, and just the things that work just happen to work just barely. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's just making things up hoping they work, and he's just resourceful enough that they do. Like, when he in the bank, he goes into the bathroom thinking, I'm gonna find some supplies in here to, like, kick some ass, and he just doesn't, and he has to just leave. Like, he takes the plunger off of, like, the stick, thinking he's gonna, like,
Right.
hide it in his jacket. He's like, no, that's not gonna work. Like, he goes in the cupboard, what's in here? I don't fucking know. And he just lucks out with the letter opener. Like,
Right. And
yeah.
he's paranoid too. He's paranoid the entire time because he thinks people are in
Yes.
there watching him. Do you
And
think that guy was actually watching him, or do you think that was just a nosy little bank boy?
when I first watched it, I thought the guy might have been watching him. But yeah, I think it
It's
was
just a
just a
good
nosy bank boy.
he was just so that whole bank scene is just so stressful
Yeah.
because oh my god, he doesn't have the money. Oh my god, he's reaching for that thing. Oh my god, is that guy gonna see him?
Yeah. And then the things he going, like, he gets the gun, you're like, yeah, he's got a gun now. And then he, like, hops on the truck and he drops the gun. You're like, fuck.
Right, and then he gets stopped after tying up the guy. He gets pulled over by the police, and they
Yeah.
force him down. And then they let the other guy out, and the guy shoots. Does the guy shoot the cop? Yeah, the guy shoots the cop.
Yeah, the guy shoots the cop. And then,
But he
like,
gets really lucky because he distracts him, and then he gets the gun, and then he shoots the bad guy. Oh,
yeah.
he just
But yeah,
like you
but
said,
then,
he
like,
just
yeah,
gets really fucking lucky.
he gets like, he's just like, he's not an action hero. He's just making this shit up, and he just barely gets it right. Yeah, like, the cop stops him, and he's like, he throws his gun away and gets on the ground. He's like, "No, officer, you gotta stop!" And then the guy shoots the cop, and then he runs down to try to find his gun. And, like, just as he finds, he's like, "Yes, get the gun!" And then just as he finds it, the other guy's like, "Nope," and he just gets lucky because the cop is still alive.
I will say these are some of the most level-headed cops I've seen in a movie. He's
Honestly,
very level-headed, like just like, hey man, he says he ain't got your wife. I don't see anybody in there. We looked in his truck. Like, dude, like go talk to my deputy. Like they're not like, oh, you just do you have a wife, friend? Like the one thing they say is like, you sure you guys didn't get into a fight and you did something to her? Like they
yeah.
kind of hint at that, but they don't.
Just, yeah,
It's not
a
crazy bad.
a very reasonable cop, which is like, but it also, like, ties into, like, the paranoia of the movie, because, like, you're like, are the cops in on it? Is everybody in on this? Like, what's happening?
Oh yeah, and then they plant Billy, I think, is the one guy pretending to be slow with
Yeah,
with the car. Wait,
yeah.
is it a T-bird or a Firebird? I forget.
I think it's a Firebird. Yeah, he's like watching the Firebird. He's like, the cops are in on it. They don't
Oh,
let me. They don't
that's what
believe me. Yeah, like, he's pretending to be like a
that's what you
special
don't know
needs
about
guy.
Bella. The cops is in on it,
Oh,
and you're like, oh shit. But then you realize, oh, he was bullshit. Like they like when I look back at it and realize how much they were conning this guy.
yeah. And, like, but, like, it plays into, like, even when he goes back into the diner, you're like, are these people in on it too?
Right.
Cause, like, it's just the way it's framed. Like, you never, like, okay, are these little like, is everybody in this little bumfuck town in on this, like, scam? Like, because he goes into the diner and, like, they're just completely ambivalent to him. Like, they don't seem to care that he's like, was my wife here? You know, it's like, and, like, they're just like, fuck you, buddy. Like, who cares? It's like, hey, my wife's not back yet. I think she's missing. Like, okay, whatever. Have you checked the bathroom? Right?
I forgot about that stupid little throwaway gag. Have you checked the bathroom,
Yeah,
mister?
yeah, like, just, and you're like, like, they're just completely ambivalent to, like, this man who's, like, frantically like, my wife is gone, and then they become openly hostile, and you're like, are these people in on this, or is this just a town of rude people who hate city folk?
Well, I think it plays perfectly into like the thematic, like the main theme of the movie of like you can't trust anybody but yourself. Just because the whole movie makes you wonder like who is in on it,
Yeah,
who is fucking with it, and again I love the underestimated city boy like getting one up on the country folk.
okay. Before we keep gushing about this movie, do you have anything that you disliked?
Well, I don't like Jeeps. I'll tell you that right now. No, the one thing I don't like is that like he is so adamant. He's so adamant about staying with the Jeep. And like you would think he'd be a little more perplexed about letting his wife, go make a phone call.
Oh yeah,
Like if
I don't want to leave the
if it's
car alone.
if it's 5 minutes away, I think your car will be fine until you walk back.
Also, if it's not working, what are they gonna steal it?
What's someone gonna do, guy?
Call the tow truck for a car that's not theirs?
Like
Yeah.
really, like the only other thing that kind of bumped me, but I'm not like picky about it. Is like for an everyday guy, an average Joe, he just seemed to know his way around a gun pretty well. And maybe there was a line that I forgot or
I
missed
mean,
or something.
he is American.
True, true.
Yeah. Um, I think the only thing that I really could say I dislike is there's a fourth member of like the bad guy crew who's just kind of there.
He used to add to the body count at the end.
Yeah. Like, but like he's there, and like the other ones all have like a like Red is the leader, and he's like the mastermind behind the whole thing. You got Earl's the heavy, Billy's like the little slippery like young one, and then there's just the fat guy who's like 4 lines in the whole thing. Like you couldn't have given him a little something else just to make him something.
Is the fat guy? Well, the fat guy wasn't the diner owner, was he?
No, he was a different guy.
Okay, because for a little bit I was like, wait, is that the same big guy?
Yeah, no, he was a different guy who's just like he just kind of shows up when Earl is like fishing Kurt Russell's car out of the river. And he's just like there, and then like he doesn't really say anything, and then he's just like he's there back at like Red's house, like putting her into like the freezer and whatever, like and like yeah, like he says like 3 things the whole movie, and yeah, he's there so there's another person that he can kill for revenge at the end. But like you couldn't have given him like at least like a personality.
Give him a personality, or make him the guy that pulled the cords on the Jeep at the beginning. Like show them
Yeah.
going into the gas station with the hood up, and him like being a little sneaky snake. Like, oh, I'm gonna yoink.
Yeah, because like you have so much reason to hate all the other ones. Because like, okay, well, Red's the guy who took his wife, and then Earl's like the big guy who's been threatening him the whole time, and like Billy's like the slippery one. He like pretended he was special needs and like bonked him on the head and captured him. And then there's this other guy there. You're like, well, I guess he's part of the crew too, so that's why you don't like him. But like, I'm gonna need a little more than that.
I need another reason to hate this guy. Like I hate the one. I hate what is it, Al, because he's a fucking asshole. I hate Billy because he pretended to be slow
Yeah.
and he lied, and I hate Red because he took his wife.
Yeah, and like you hate the other guy just because, well, he's there, so I hate him because he's a bad guy. But like he's just kind of like a nameless henchman in a movie that doesn't really need nameless henchmen.
The one thing that stands out about him is he gets shot by Red's kid, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, like that's it.
Takes a shotgun blast to the fucking shoulder like a champ because he jumps in his car and he's like, "We're gonna get this fella."
And then his death isn't even that good because like Billy blows up and then he just kind of his car just kind of flips over, so he doesn't even get like a big death either. So like, why is he there?
Billy's explosion like kind of made me laugh because it came out. It felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, oh shit, you blew it up.
Yeah, but he
You blew
deserved it.
up.
He deserved it. So you just go, fuck yeah.
He deserved it, but it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's like this other fat guy. Like, does he even have a name? I don't know. Like, he doesn't get like any death really. 'Cause his car just flips over. Like, he might even survive. Like, you don't know. He gets a nothing death because he's just a nothing guy.
But if he walked away from it, we would get breakdown too. He would start the ring back up. He'd get a new crew. He'd be the leader. So then he'd be like, hey, remember me? You don't know my name, but I made a name for myself this time around.
Woo! I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to set that off. Get out of my Facebook feed. I don't think you guys walked away from this.
All right. Okay, back to good things. Do you have any more good things that you haven't said yet?
Oh, the blue of Kurt Russell's eyes.
Oh, his hair.
His hair. Just how sweaty everybody was. This movie made me really hot.
Yeah, everybody gets dirty. I love how Kurt Russell, like, it was probably just in a wave pool, but like when he's floating down the river, you can tell, like, okay, that's Kurt Russell doing a little something.
That's him doing his own stunts. Look at him go.
Yeah, like he wasn't climbing up on the truck at the end, but like he was going down that river.
I liked the stress of the last set piece with the truck hanging off of the ledge.
Yeah,
or hanging off the bridge.
I love that.
And then the white. the wife gets the final like fuck
Yes.
you to Red.
I love that whole climax. I love how like I love how the movie just like crescendos into like rural America Mad Max.
Do you think they ever got to San Diego?
I don't know. Like I love Americana Max. It's just truck carnage.
Americano.
Yeah, just the trucks like going after him and like he's smart like to like they come up on both sides and like point their guns at him, so he like slams the brakes. So
I
like
thought they were gonna shoot each other in that moment for sure.
yeah, but it's right and yeah the fuck like him like Red slamming his truck into them and you're like, oh, how are they gonna get out of this? And he climbs into Red's truck and that goes over the bridge. I love how over the top Red's death is. I love it. I love the little zoom in on on both of their eyes before Kurt Russell yeets him off the bridge. Just like a last little like you like the look, just a nice zoom in on Kurt's like fuck you eyes and Red's oh shit. Just throws him off the bridge.
It was a nail biting sequence. It was like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how this is gonna end. Like he could die, but she could live, and
Yeah,
like it would
her
be
leg is trapped
bad.
like under the dash because like it got squished or whatever, and it got like stuck in there, and like Red's like whipping like Kurt Russell's hand with a chain when he's like hanging off the truck, but like he just grabs it and yeets him off, and you're like, oh, that's it, he's dead, great death. Somehow he's still alive, so the wife puts it into neutral, and like the truck like just lands on him. Incredible. He deserved it.
Do you think Red's wife knew what was going on? Because there's a moment where she's like, what is all this, Red? But there was part of me was like, how do you not know?
I don't think she knew, because it really seemed like she didn't know. But
Then him also training the boy to be like, my daddy taught me how to use this just in case a man like you came into this house.
I mean, that could just be American redneck, right? But like,
Yeah.
I feel like the wife didn't know. Like they kind of brush past it because the movie doesn't really need that discussion. Like, did she know or whatever? But like her little like reaction to it, I feels like she didn't know.
Did they ever talk about where they put the bodies? Because they have all those license plates, which
Yeah.
makes sense because that's something like a truck driver would be like, oh, this was on the side of the road or somebody left this at a truck stop, so I picked it up because I went to Missouri, baby. I was in Missouri. Now I have proof that I was in Missouri. And it's kind of sick when you realize like, oh, all of those plates are from traveling couples or traveling people.
Yeah.
Wow, they're really going for it's just like people collecting those quarters for all 50 states. It's like,
he's got boxes of stuff in his barn, just cameras galore and clothes of like previous victims.
Where is he? Yeah, I guess he's burying him on the property, but that's just there's so much. And like so you're telling me you covered up the screaming, you covered up the sound of killing them, you covered up going out and I guess you know what, I guess you're a trucker, so what the fuck, right?
Yeah, but like it's fun. Like it's such a tight 90. I like who cares, right? Like let's just
right. I don't need it explained to me. There's just part of me that's like, I think she knows.
A lesser movie would have spent time explaining like how he gets away with this all the time and like dissecting like the wife's reaction or whether or not she knows. But this movie knows. Who cares? All we care about is Kurt Russell getting his wife back and getting revenge.
It's the Surf Dracula tweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the movie opens with him hiding a body and like the wife peeking out the door like, oh, Red's killing again.
Yeah. If this was made today, it'd be full of stuff for people who like, we got to make it so people don't ask these kinds of questions. But this movie,
we gotta make it so people who haven't been watching the movie and staring at their phone for the last half hour don't need to know what's going on.
We got to have a scene explaining the basis of their operation, the profit margin of what they're doing, how they get away with it all the time, the relationship with him and his wife, whether his wife knows. We got to add all that in. It's going to be 2 hours and 45 minutes. No, 1997, this movie, his wife gets kidnapped, he gets revenge, the movie's over. We're not
the 2024 version of this movie. We have to explain why Billy plays a slow person because he had a best friend and he does it in his honor. So he's actually kind of a good guy. He's gray. He's a morally gray character.
No, this movie doesn't even have time to give Red a speech. He starts the beginning of a villain monologue and Kurt Russell just goes, "You fuck," and kicks him down into the cellar and locks the door. Incredible.
That's a tight 90 right there.
Oh. All right. What do you rate this out of 5?
You know what? I give it a 5.
Really?
This might be my. Is this my first 5 on the show? I don't remember.
It
I
is
guess we should start tracking this stuff.
it is your first 5. Oh, I gave this a 4 on Letterboxd right after I watched it, and I said in my review on another rewatch this might be a 4.5, but in discussing it now, it's a 4.5.
Hey, look at that. We got you half a star just in talking about it.
Yeah, if I watch this again, I think it's gonna up to a 5 because it's
It's a
so
good movie.
it's
It's
so
so
tight.
tight.
It's so
It's
tight. Like
so tight.
I know it's not a perfect movie, but god damn it if it isn't flawless.
It's so fucking tight, and even with the flaws that we mentioned, it's so fucking tight. It's such a good movie. I don't need
Oh,
to be spoon-fed. It's good. It's fucking good.
tighter than a porn star on her first day of work.
Buh. Oh, oh God. Buh.
All right. This is an easy. This is 100% dad movie, right?
This is 100% dad movie because the
Yeah.
dad will be standing there, and you know what the first thing a dad will say? The movie will come on. The dad will like walk into the room and see the Jeep, and the dad will say, "I bet that Jeep's gonna break down."
Oh my god, this has everything a dad wants in a movie. You got a normal guy, a kidnapped wife. He becomes the hero, saves his wife. You got suspense. You got action. It's a tight 90, so there's no risk of falling asleep. This is 100% dad certified.
It's 100%, and you know what? A dad would watch it, the Jeep would break down, and the dad would stand there and try to fix the Jeep mentally and be like, "Well, has he checked the did he check the coolant levels? The coolant levels might have had something to do with that. Something might have overheated."
Yeah, yeah. And then he'd be like, "Ooh, they sabotaged."
Saboteur. And then the dad would be like, "You know what? I think it's good the wife got in the truck with the trucker. They're gonna go make that phone call on a landline, a trustful landline, might I add."
I'm almost positive that as soon as he does the duct tape slamming the brakes torture, a dad would clap.
The dads would clap. In fact, I think if my dad were watching this movie, he'd probably put on like Metallica to play with that part. Just some good rock to go with that as he's like pumping the brakes.
If any dad did decide to sit down while watching this movie, it would be in the locked in position,
I think this is a movie you watch in a garage.
standing up in a garage. Well,
Standing up in a garage, you're working on a,
Yeah.
a motor that you're taking apart. You got it on your respectfully sized 32-inch plasma screen that sits right above your bench.
Yeah, as soon as
Yeah.
it gets to a certain part of the movie, you stop working and just start paying full attention.
You open the fridge, pull out a cold Coors Light.
Yeah,
It's blue. The mountains are blue, so you know it's
other
cold.
dads in the neighborhood walking by see you in your garage with the door open. They come in. What are you working on here? Oh, I was working on this, but then this came on. They start watching.
And the other dad says, "Is that Kurt Russell?" He's like, "Yeah, that's Kurt Russell." And then the other
Oh.
dad sits down. I haven't
Holy-
seen this one.
Yeah, whoa,
I
Kurt
love
Russell. We got a situation here. Then they all start clapping.
A bunch of the neighborhood dads. At that point, there's like 10 dads in the garage,
Yeah,
and then they all start
Some-
contemplating if they can start kidnapping tourists.
some of them who didn't know each other before they walked by and saw this movie.
This is a movie that makes dad friends. In fact,
Yeah.
if I ever have a garage where I can watch a movie in it, I think Breakdown's going to be the first garage movie I have.
Yeah, and they're all gonna clap at the end, and in their heads, they're all gonna say the same thing. I could do that.
I could fix that Jeep.
I could do that if my wife was kidnapped. Yeah, you said it. You said it yourself. I would do that.
Look at you. You're a podcaster. You brought it back. Look
Yeah.
at you doing the callbacks.
Yeah. All
Look at
right.
you.
Okay, we have a new segment this week. So do we want to do this before or after the dad joke?
Let's do this before. I feel like the dad joke's like a good button on a movie.
Okay, so this new segment is called what did we call it again?
We called it the IMDb error that we're not mad at. We're just disappointed by.
Yes. And okay, so what this segment is we will each read, although I think this week it'll just be Nick because he found these just before we started recording. We will each read one error that somebody has like submitted to IMDb about the movie that we just have to shake our heads at because we're very disappointed in the person for spending the time to type this up and submit it to IMDb.
All right, so I have one here. This is and IMDb's gotten so into it that they break everything down. There's errors in geography, boom mic visibility, character error. For breakdown, I'm pulling one from character error, and this one is just like, well, if he didn't do that, the movie wouldn't have happened. But here we go. If Jeff had been so concerned and wary about leaving the vehicle unattended, he should also not have wanted his wife to go off by herself with the trucker to go and phone at the diner. He should have just asked Red to go to the diner and phone a tow truck for them himself. That's the movie, dude.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Why would you spend the time? Like, if you're watching this movie, you should be locked in going, fuck yeah. Not thinking about, like, why would he do that?
And I know I said earlier, like, oh, like you're going 5 miles down the road, just leave the car. But like, dude, come on.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, I'm just trying. I just whoever left this because it doesn't give their name. I
Yeah.
just want you to know that
We're
I'm
not
giving it a
mad.
thumbs down.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a thumbs down on IMDb Pro, but I also want you to know that I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time for dad jokes. I will go
I've got
first.
one. You want to go first? Go ahead.
I will go first. Where do truck drivers get their news?
Where?
Trucker Carlson.
Boo. Get that man out of my podcast, SDO. Get that Russian lapdog out of here.
I thought we were also Russian lapdogs.
Say that part out loud.
You said it out loud already at the beginning.
I said that we were funded. I didn't say who.
You said Russia.
I didn't say who.
You said Russia.
But I'm also I said Russia. We had fans in Russia, and then I said we were funded by one of those countries. I didn't say it could have been Saudi Arabia.
You said we were funded by both of them.
I said one of them. I was purposely vague so people couldn't track our funding.
Okay. What's your joke?
I was just trying to protect us. My joke is I was concerned that the wife wasn't real for a little bit in the movie. There were bits and pieces of the movie where I didn't know what the truck was going on.
Oh my God. Groan.
Woo.
All right. Wow. This is usually the part of the podcast where we tell you where to follow us and to leave or whatever, but it's a double feature, so we got another movie.
You know what? I love this so much. We should do a triple feature next time.
No.
I've only done one triple feature in my life, and I was tired by the end of it.
I think the only triple feature I've ever done. I'll do a triple feature if I'm like sick in bed all day, but it's usually a triple feature that makes no sense.
It's usually like, oh, Harry Potter marathons on Sci-Fi. I'll probably watch like 2 or 3 of these and be. I have one where I was actually at the theaters, and I'll never forget it. It was Anchorman 2, followed by Frozen.
Oh God.
Followed by Catching Fire.
Wow.
Pretty good day at the movies.
I tried to do Lord of the Rings triple feature in one day once, and I don't remember if I made it.
Oh, you probably didn't. I've never seen the Two Towers all the way through. I've
Really?
only seen the first and the third. I've never seen Two Towers all the way through.
Are you not a fan of Lord of the Rings?
It's okay. I like it. I need to be in the mood for fantasy.
I also have to be in the mood for fantasy, but I really love Lord of the Rings, but I don't know if I could ever just like watch it. Like I'll watch them like one a day type thing.
I do want to read the books because I really get sucked into like the fantasy politics, and that's part of what I really liked about Baldur's Gate 3. I'm more interested in their politics than I am our own.
Well, theirs makes more sense.
This is true.
All right. Well, double feature. The next movie in the Men Who Drive Professionally duology double feature is the 2004 neo-noir action thriller Collateral, directed and produced by Michael Mann, written by Stuart Beattie, and starring Tom Cruise, or as his friends call him, Thomas Cruise Mapother IV, and Jamie Foxx.
You know, there's another thing that links these two movies together.
What?
The leads both have gray hair in them.
They do.
So I was interested to see what else Beattie wrote, by the way. You ready to hear this list?
Yes.
So he's got a story credit for the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Okay, great movie.
I'm not going to mention anything from the 90s because I don't know any of that. It's called like Joey and Kick. I never heard of him. He wrote Derailed in 2005.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it either. Exhibits in it. He wrote 30 Days of Night.
That sounds familiar.
That is the Josh Hartnett vampire movie where they live in Alaska during the part of the year where the sun doesn't come out for 30 days.
Oh, I've heard of that. I've never seen it.
It's really good. I like it.
Oh,
Australia, which, if I'm remembering correctly, is the Nicole Kidman, Hugh Jackman bomb.
that unless there's another movie called Australia.
So he wrote that. He wrote G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra.
Oh, okay then.
Another movie in 2010, another Australian movie, Tomorrow When the War Began.
Oh, so he kind of peaked with this movie then.
Let me continue. I think you'll know this next one. He wrote I, Frankenstein,
Oh God,
Danger Close, The Battle of Long Tan,
never heard of it.
and Interceptor.
Never heard of it.
And then he did an uncredited rewrite on Punisher Warzone.
Okay,
which is
so
the 2008 Punisher movie.
so he peaked with this.
This was his moment.
This was his one moment. It was a good
for him.
moment.
I mean, he still got to write movies for the next 15 years, so
He
I
did.
think he came out pretty good. He came out pretty good with it.
This is like the guy who wrote Identity Thief writing Chernobyl.
when you've had so many opportunities, you eventually get one.
He got one.
A broken clock is twice right. Am I right?
Yeah, he got one. Good for him. All right. Letterbox reviews. Dad approved letterbox reviews.
Yes.
All right.
Let me pull.
All right. Mine is from Pilot, who is a pro letterbox user. Congratulations. They gave this 4 stars and wrote, "Why didn't he just rent a car?"
It's a valuable question.
Yeah.
Very valuable
It's a
question.
very dad question.
I have a letterbox review here from Sarah Clements, who's not a patron. Sarah, what's up with that? She gave it 4 stars, and she said Tom Cruise really came out of the room running at full speed. And that's a comment on how much he's running in this
Oh.
movie, just like all his other movies. I think this might be peak Tom Cruise run.
I think it's the only Tom Cruise run that has a match cut in it.
The thing about this run, and he's done it in Suits and other movies, but just watching someone run in a suit always makes me so uncomfortable.
He does it well.
Like I can barely walk in a suit.
Listen, Tom Cruise may be the greatest runner of all time, just in terms of the aesthetic of the run. No one's run looks better than Tom Cruise's.
Speaking of runs, I think this is probably one of Tom Cruise's better runs in theaters, right? He was like unstoppable at this point in his career. Of course, this is right around the time of Tom, where's your discography?
I got it. I'll pull it up. I mean, he's still kind of unstoppable. He just kind of makes less stuff.
Here he is. All right, so here is, if we run down it. So 2002, I'm just going to name the notable ones. I'm going to pass over the small stuff.
Is there any small Tom Cruise stuff?
He was a narrator for a documentary.
Okay, what?
Those aren't films, remember? They're barely TV shows. 2002 Minority Report. He had a small role as himself in Austin Powers and Goldmember.
Yeah.
2003 he's in The Last Samurai. 2004 Collateral. 2005 War of the Worlds. He was in Elizabethtown.
Producer
and
only.
Then producer only. So then let me skip down. He was in Mission Impossible 3 in 2006, which is a banger. Probably my favorite Mission Impossible.
Tropic Thunder 2008.
Tropic Thunder. I liked Valkyrie. Valkyrie's okay.
Night and Day I really like. It's one of my guilty pleasures. Was Night and Day a hit? It was
I forgot he was in Rock of Ages. I forgot about Rock of Ages.
Okay, so that's where it
Oblivion. The Jack Reacher movie's not bad. There's a better Reacher.
There is a better Reacher. I like that first Jack Reacher. The second one sucks, but I like that first one. That's a solid dad movie.
Jack Reacher's subtitle suggests what Tom should have done with that series. Never go back.
Yeah. Oblivion I like.
Oblivion's good sci-fi. Edge of Tomorrow's good sci-fi. There was a point for some
Edge of Tomorrow incredible.
In the 2010, for some reason, in the early 2010s, Tom was like, I kind of want to do a sci-fi.
Yeah. Rogue Nation, great.
You know what? Tom never fell out. Tom never left.
Yeah. American Made, great.
American Made. I saw that one in theaters. That was good.
Yeah, Fallout,
But
fucking Goat,
so
Maverick,
would you?
Goat. You can go even
Flawless
go.
Goat, Mavericks Goat.
You can even go earlier than where you started, and it would like still count as like hits, right? Because like
Right.
when did you start?
I started at 2002.
2002,
but
Minority Report. You can okay. Magnolia
2000.
99, Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut, Magnolia were in the same year. In Jesus Christ.
You
Oh,
love Vanilla Sky, don't you?
no, I don't. But he was in it. Some people
You know,
like it.
Tom needs to close off his so he's got a little sci-fi duology here from the 2010s. He needs to close that off with a third sci-fi. I know
Yeah.
Minority Report's in there, but Minority Report is 20 years old at this point.
Is
Tom, I need you to finish your sci-fi trilogy.
the next movie he's in a sci-fi after Mission Impossible? What's the
Uh,
one? The guy. It's directed by that guy who did the Birdman. Is it Birdman or is it the guy who did Gravity? It's one of the Mexican directors.
You're really narrowing it down there.
Like the main two. They both won Oscars like back to back years.
Guillermo del Toro?
No, the other two.
So then there are three.
No, but they won. Did Guillermo del Toro win the Oscar like after the other?
He won it for Shape of Water. He might have won it a little before, right?
I know he won it for Shape of Water, but did he win it like a year after the other Mexican guy won it?
So there was Del Toro.
Okay, yeah. There's Alfonso Cuarón.
And that was for Gravity, or that was for Birdman?
That was for Gravity. The other guy did Birdman.
I haven't seen Gravity, but Birdman, Shape of Water, pretty good.
Birdman. Alejandro Inarritu. Okay, well, one of those two guys, like Tom Cruise, is in their next movie, and I think it's a sci-fi.
I think you're right. I remember seeing something on
Variety
about his next movie.
It's Alejandro.
Alejandro.
I think it's a sci-fi.
You know, we're over here gushing about Tom Cruise, but Jamie Foxx has had just as good a career.
Ray,
he did. You know what? Stealth was the first movie I ever watched on my PSP. No regrets. Jarhead, Miami Vice. He was in Dreamgirls.
Was he in Dreamgirls?
He was in Dreamgirls. Curtis Taylor Jr. I forgot he was in Due Dates. Due Date's the Robert Downey Jr. Zach Galifianakis movie. Horrible Bosses as Dean motherfucker Jones.
Oh, that's such a good part.
Django Unchained. White House Down. He was Max in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. Famous Spider-Man villain Max.
Forgot he was William Stacks in the Annie reboot or the Annie remake.
Oh, Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. He was one of the bad guys. I forgot he was Little John in the Robin Hood movie.
Any Given Sunday.
He was the main voice in Soul, that Pixar movie. He was back in Spider-Man as Max in No Way Home.
Yeah.
He was one of the dogs in Stray. I don't know if we want to mention that one. That one's pretty. Ugh. He's also. I think he's got a viral video where he was pitching someone the Muhammad Ali movie, or no, he was pitching someone a boxing movie, and it was like a really good fucking pitch.
I don't know. Day
I
Shift
might have to show you.
Was apparently good. I didn't see
Day
it.
Shift was really good. Day Shift was really good.
I've heard people say it was really good. I never got around to it. They cloned Tyrone is also supposed to be really good.
Man, it's already been 2 years. Shit. Yeah, Day Shift's really good.
I should watch it.
We should.
Yeah.
And they cloned Tyrone. I want to see that one.
All right. Well, yeah, just two great stars in this.
So you knew, and I mean, don't even get me started on Michael Mann. We won't go through his filmography, but
damn. This might be my favorite man.
I think this is my favorite man too. I love Heat. I like this better than Heat.
Heat is a masterpiece. I think I would rather watch this.
So
I gotta be in the mood for Heat. You know what I mean? But I can turn this on at any time.
I think the thing that makes me take pause in watching Heat is that do I have the energy to keep up with Al Pacino?
Oh yeah, no, but like Heat, I think Heat is a masterpiece. Like Heat might be man's best. Like that's maybe like one of the greats. I feel like Man has a few of movies that you can say are like one of the greats, but like Heat's like a masterpiece. But if I'm flipping through the channels and like Heat's on and this is on, I'm gonna pick this. As much as I love Heat.
People are super weird about Man because there are people who are like very into his Miami Vice movie, and it's like, what are we doing, guys? Like, calm down.
Yeah, it's fine. I watched it because I like
So
Man and I had never seen it, and I saw people gushing about Miami Vice. I was like, oh, I'll watch Miami Vice. It's fine. Like, it's not bad. Like, it got bad reviews when it came out. It's not that bad, but like, it's not great.
it's a very 2006 movie.
Yeah. Like, I think the best thing about it is probably Colin Farrell's hair, which is not really it's not really what you want the best thing in your movie to be, although it is magnificent hair, but like, it's fine. Like, it's not as good as like an episode of the show.
I will say I'm a little so. I've seen Heat. I've seen Last of the Mohicans. I've seen the Insider, but it's been a long time.
Insider is really
Haven't seen-
good.
I haven't seen any of his 80s movies.
Thief is really good. I don't know what else he did in the
Thief,
Manhunter.
Manhunter.
Manhunter I haven't seen.
We might need to add some of these to the
Yeah.
wheel in the future.
Yeah, definitely. But let's talk about this movie.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
gushing over the
All right.
talent in this movie.
For my first like in the criticism sandwich, I'm gonna mention someone that we have yet to mention talking about the cast of this movie. That's fake Cholo Mark Ruffalo.
Fake Cholo Mark Ruffalo. There was a minute where I didn't think it was him, and then I saw, like, he stepped into the light, and I was like, oh fuck, that is Mark Ruffalo.
That's Mark Ruffalo. Now he's pretending to be a cholo in this movie because he's an undercover cop. It's not just Mark Ruffalo playing a cholo. So in case you're already offended, chill out. He's an undercover cop. He's just a nice presence to have, because he's a very comforting like person, and you're like, okay, this guy's gonna like, and it builds, like, his little subplot builds up. She's like, oh, this guy's gonna save Jamie Foxx, like he's gonna solve the case and save him, and then he just gets offed so casually, like it's almost a blink and you miss it, and like he's just dead.
It's so quick, and like for a minute you're like, oh, he might come back from this. It might be fine. There might be like a quick cutaway where he's like being rushed to the hospital.
Yeah,
and like there's a throwaway line where someone's like, he's gonna live. We just gotta go. Oh, he's lost a lot of blood, but he's gonna live. But no, he's dead.
Yeah, he's just dead. And then you just see Max, with Jamie Foxx's character, just staring, just a blank, dejected stare before he drives away after he thought, oh, Mark Ruffalo's here, he's gonna save me. And then in a split second, he's just dead.
And I think this movie kind of says some of the same things that Breakdown says. And it's no one's going to save you. You are in this on your own.
Yeah, a lot of this movie is that.
common.
Yeah, a lot of this movie is Tom Cruise like trying to instill in Jamie Foxx, like, man, like you're alone. Life sucks. It's just a lonely existence. Just man up.
There's a scene in the movie that I really like. It could be a scene that the movie doesn't even need. Like, you could get rid of it, and I don't think it would lose anything. But there's a scene where they're driving, and
Is it the coyote?
It's the fucking coyote.
I love that scene. I think that might be I put this in my notes. That might be the greatest needle drop of all time.
That's an Audio Slave song that starts playing, right?
Yeah.
Part of my brain is broken because I'll hear an Audio Slave song, and 9 times out of 10 think it's a 9 Inch Nails song.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that scene is so good. The look on Cruise's face after he sees the coyote. That's the one time in the movie he's like a real human.
Yeah, because I mean, that coyote in that instance, I mean, both characters see it, and I think they both have this reaction. But it's like they're both headspace wise in a completely different area when they're seeing this coyote. Like, Cruise is like, oh shit, this thing. Like, given everything going on around it, like, this coyote's still here. It's calculated. It's doing what it wants to do. He sees himself.
He sees himself, and like that look on. And Cruise is doing some great eye acting. People say I see this all the time. People are like, Tom Cruise isn't really a great actor. Well, he's just doing these stunts. And it's like, no, man, Tom Cruise is really good at acting. That's why he's able to do all these stunts.
Right.
And he's doing he sees this coyote, and just with his eyes, like just with his eyes, he's just conveying like the broken soul of a man who's looking at this coyote thinking, that's me. What is this life that I've made for myself? That's the one time he's a human being.
And then Fox, like, he's like up there with Cruise. Like, he's he sees like the coyote. He's like, hey, given like all the obstacles this coyote had to face, he's still here.
Yeah.
I am that coyote. Like they both think they're the coyote, but they think they're the coyote for different
Yeah,
reasons.
like Cruz sees himself like I'm the coyote, and what's wrong with me? That's sad. Like, fuck, right? And then Jamie Foxx sees the coyote. He's like, I'm the coyote. I got to do something. I'm gonna get myself out of this situation.
Another scene I really like is early on when Tom is in the back and he's talking about the guy who dies on
Yeah,
Metra. And like I hadn't realized when I was younger watching this that, oh, full circle. But watching it and knowing how it ends and hearing that line, I'm like, oh fucking hell, they give it up to you right there.
yeah. They're both so good in this movie, just as diametrically opposed like entities of existence. Just Jamie Foxx is so good as this guy, and he's so likable in it. Just this hapless guy who's like got hope for the future, but too scared to like do anything to get there. Just a hopeful man who hopes it's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me. And then Cruz is just in the back, just a nihilistic, inhuman husk of a man. Just no
Well,
regard, just no regard for human life or anything. Just not believing like we're all like this. We're all alone here, you know. No, like everybody's disconnected. Nothing matters.
I think that's the lesson Jamie Foxx ultimately learns is that nothing matters. Like
Yeah,
no one's going to save. Like, and
nothing
I think
matters.
it
Nothing.
leaves him when Ruffalo dies. He's like, nothing matters now. Like I
Yeah,
have to go out on my own. I can't hope that someone's going to help me. And coming in, I hated the scene where they go to see his mom. But I think it's really important in that message of the film that it really drives home the lesson that, like, hey, nothing matters. No
yeah.
one's going to help you. Even the people that are closest to you or should be the closest to you aren't going to help you.
Yeah, well, I feel like Cruz is like the one who's like trying to like instead like nothing matters, like life is meaningless, like just forget about it, man. And but then but really the lesson and the theme of the movie is like, yeah, nothing matters unless you make it matter,
Right.
and
Well,
that's
but Tom's character is also Vincent is a fucking hypocrite because they get to the hospital and he's like, "We have to buy your mom flowers. It's your mom. We have to buy her flowers." And it's like, no, like Jamie Foxx understands his mom does not want those fucking flowers, but
yeah,
Vincent not caring about anything, and then be like, "No, no, 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 no. You show up with flowers, you fuck." It's
yeah.
like,
I
okay, does nothing matter, or is this something that you think should matter?
I feel like that's also another great little like this is not a real human. Like he has like any ounce of humanity is out of this guy. So he's just like, well, it's a mother. You got to bring her flowers. That's what he thinks a human being must do. Bring a mother flowers. And Jamie's like,
He's
no,
a
my
husk
mom.
of a man.
Yeah, he's a husk of a man who's pretending, like he's going through life pretending to still be like a normal human person.
He's got a code. He was always one step away from talking about his code.
Yeah, there's just just their interplay together, like Cruz is the devil on his shoulder, just just cold, heartless man telling Fox everything he needs to hear, and Fox is just this meek, naive guy who's just like he's too afraid to do anything with himself, but at least unlike Vincent, he has hope within him. He's a human being.
And I did like the little detail that I really liked was with each target, Max like got closer and closer to each target in some way, um, up until like where he's saving the very last one.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned her yet, but another person that's really good in this is Jada Pinkett Smith. And we joked
Yeah.
off show that it's crazy that Jada Pinkett Smith has great chemistry with everyone except for her real life husband.
Yeah, it goes both ways. But yeah, um, yeah. She doesn't have like a big part in this. She's like the very beginning and the very end, but like she's got like 2 minutes in the cab with Jamie Foxx at the beginning, and like you're like, yeah, you could build a rom com off of that.
She's just so in those like she doesn't have much time, but she eats up the scene in those 2 minutes that she's
Yeah,
there.
like it's a believable interaction where you're like, yeah, like this, like she'd give him her number. She'd want him to call.
They're so good in this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You had. I'm gonna full disclosure for the second part of the criticism sandwich. I have no dislikes.
You have no dislikes.
I have nothing. I sat and I was like, what do I not like about this movie? I gotta come up with at least one thing, and nothing. I can't think of a single thing I dislike about this movie.
It's a really good fucking movie. I'm perplexed because I don't really have anything bad to say about it.
Yeah, I was like, I need something for the criticism sandwich. It was like we talk about like Breakdown was a tight 90. This is a tight 2 hours.
Like, I mean, if I were going to get rid of something from this movie, it'd probably be them going and getting the information for the last two targets.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about putting that as like, well, you could kind of get rid of
Because
this or trim it down, but at the same time, that's so important for
it's
Max to
it's
have to do
only
that.
it's only there for them to it's only there for the police to get closer to them and see that Max is involved.
Yeah, but
And that and
I
that gets them to the club later on.
yeah, but I feel like you also like that's so important for Max to like lock in and be like, this is who I gotta be. Like, and you see that switch in him when he's it's like Vince is like, go, be me, just do it, just pretend. And he goes in there and he's doing such a shitty fucking job. And he's like, yeah, I lost the list. I'm sorry, right? And then like he realizes that I'm gonna fucking die. Like this is like I have to be this other person. And you see the moment he locks in and he takes his glasses off, and he's like, and he just completely transforms like into the coyote he needs to be. Like I think you need that scene still.
I just feel like I kind of feel like that transformation is achieved when he works up the courage to steal the briefcase and throw it off the bridge. I get it that like that's more of a physical act and you don't really see it in his character, but I don't know. Like I really have nothing bad to say about this movie. I'm picking I'm
Yeah.
I'm splitting hairs here.
No, but like look, I had the same thought. I was like, you could probably, if not get rid of it, you could probably trim it down. Like you could maybe cut out the part of it where he's like before he like locks in, just have him lock in immediately. Because you're right, he already kind of manned up, so you could just cut out the part where he's like going in there scared.
But
But
that scene does a lot of lifting. So it not only makes it shows Max's transformation, it gets Ruffalo and the cops closer to them. It there's a throwaway line earlier about the hey, that cabbie who killed three people and then himself. I don't think it was the cabbie. Makes all
yeah,
that make sense. It shows us the bad guy who wants all these people dead. So it's a scene
yeah,
that does a lot. So it's not like
and
it's just
yeah, and it shows that like Ruffalo is like ahead of the game. Like he's like, what if like he's the only one asking, is there anyone else in that cab? You know, he's like, what if they're wrong? It does a lot, and it does build up to like when they're all heading to the club. Like that's a cool scene.
back to the positive.
Yeah,
It's a really cool LA movie.
it is a cool LA movie. Michael Mann just knows how to shoot LA.
He loves that fucking city, man.
I don't know if there's anyone better at LA than Michael Mann.
Yeah, like it feels like the city feels like a character itself, and I think that's achieved pretty well through just like the nightlife, and then like Max knowing like all these shortcuts or knowing like what routes to take and how the traffic is, and you got the people walking the street when Max is honking the horn, and then they come and rob him.
Oh my god. Cruz has some great fucking line deliveries in this. Yo, homie, that my briefcase? Incredible.
Him yelling at the cab dispatcher.
Oh yeah. Him telling Max, no, I shot him. The bullets in the fall killed him.
The jazz club. Oh, the jazz club scene, the tension in that.
Oh,
Just the cool little moments about Miles and just like jazz in general and them sitting there.
I love that scene too because it shows like he's just playing with it. Like he's gonna kill this guy. He's just giving him some false sense of comfort, and you're like, so he's gonna kill Max.
Right. And I think Max kind of sees that as like, oh,
Yeah,
he's like, oh shit, he answered right. Like he did everything you wanted him to do when you still
yeah.
killed him.
That's like the first moment where Max is like, I'm not getting out of this. I got to do
I gotta look at
something.
my future. I have to go.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a good movie.
I remember this little tidbit of trivia. I remember it from when this came out. But I read it again and I was like, I wanted to ask you, how do you think this would have played as a Russell Crowe and Adam Sandler?
I don't think it would have been as good.
Yeah, I don't think Crowe could have pulled off Vincent.
I don't think anybody other than Tom Cruise could have pulled off Vince.
And I don't Sandler would have been closer on Max, but he still wouldn't have held a candle to Fox.
Yeah. But yeah, like Vincent, no, like you need a Cruise. Like he just there's an intensity to Cruise behind his eyes that you're like, this guy could kill like this is a killing machine. And I love too at the end when he's like he becomes the Terminator. When he's going after Jada Pinkett Smith, it becomes almost a little slasher movie.
Right, because the lighting is amazing. Because the movie goes pitch black.
Yeah, and oh my god.
This is one I wish I would have seen in theater.
Yeah.
I was too young at the time, though.
Oh, and their final shootout on the subway when he's like, "I do this for a living," and he fucking
I do this for a living, Max, and then
Yeah.
fucking he's dead.
yeah, I do this for a living. It's such a good last thing to say before like Max kills him because it's like, yeah, you do this for like. I love how like Vincent is like he's like such a like so adamant he's a professional. It's almost like he doesn't even enjoy his life or his work, but he just does it because he's good at it and it's his job. And he's like, yeah, I do this for a living. Like, yeah, but like you're not a human. Like you do this for a living, but like Max has like the will to keep going. Like you have
Max-
nothing.
You do this for a living. Max has a life.
Exactly. And like that's almost what's like you can and like at the end too, like he goes for like just on instinct a reload that he doesn't have because he picked up someone else's gun. It's like I do this for a living. Yeah, but you're not a person. You're a machine.
This movie is an anti-capitalist movie. It wants you to quit your job, and I say do it.
Oh God. Okay. This is an easy fight.
I just wanted to end real quick on the. I do love that this movie opens at LAX and ends at the Metro, as opposed to Heat that opens at the Metro and ends at LAX.
That's a nice detail.
I love it. I've always loved that. Someone pointed that out to me right after I saw Collateral for the first time, and it was like, no fucking way, that kicks ass, bro.
Oh, this movie is so good.
This is another 100.
Yeah, it's a 5 out of 5 for me.
Star. This is a 5-star. 5-star.
5
Two
stars
5
from
stars from Nick. It never happens.
Damn, 2 5 stars on from Nick on one episode. We picked a good double feature.
This is a good. Well, the wheel did it. We had no.
That's true.
This was chaos thrown upon us.
To be like, we chose to do a double feature, so it might not have been.
Let's take a little break before we do another double feature, though.
Yeah, we'll do like one a season or whatever. But like, if we didn't do a double feature, who knows? Like, we could have done breakdown one week and then like different bad movie the next. Who knows?
This was good. This was like this will give me the energy to get through the rest of the wheel.
Yeah, we picked a good week to do the double feature. Two,
and they were both streaming.
Yeah,
another thing that connects them on the same platform.
2 incredible movies. Yeah, 100% dad movie. This has everything a dad wants in a movie. It's a tight 2 hours. It's got tension. It's got you know what we didn't talk about? There's not a lot of it, but like the shooting in this movie, incredible.
The sound design.
Oh my god, how loud those fucking bullets are when he shoots those gangbangers.
There's a weight in the gun. There's a weight in every sound of the gun being shot. The double tap to the chest and then the banger to the head.
The club scene is incredible.
This is an amazing movie.
Oh my god.
Dads will see. Dads love Tom Cruise. Dads love Jamie Foxx. They're standing only momentarily because they're sitting right the fuck down when they see this is on.
As soon as Tom Cruise gets in that cab, they're locked in. As soon as that body falls out the window, they're clapping. They're like, "Fuck, here we go."
It's a good movie.
Yeah, 100% dad certified. 5 out of 5 from both of us. This is
which leads us into our newest segment.
yeah.
The IMDb error that we're not mad at. We're just disappointed by.
But before we're extremely disappointed by this IMDb error, like this is so far, this is the best movie we've done so far.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah,
it definitely is up at the top of the list. I don't think it'll be touched for a while.
Yeah, if it wasn't a double feature, Breakdown could have had that title for a little bit. But all right, what's this IMDb error?
So I'm on the error, and there's a bunch of ones on here where it's like, really, this is what you're doing with your life. This is what you're doing. Here's here's the one that makes me roll my eyes more than any, and I'm downvoting it right now. At the end of the film, the train pulls out of the station despite a loud gunfight and several witnesses seeing Vincent march from car to car holding a gun.
Oh my god.
The conductor's got a job to do. No, like get over it. It's the end of the movie.
Imagine
Go
seeing
home.
imagine seeing one of the coolest things you've ever watched and being like, I don't think that train would have still been running.
The thing that kills me about this is 21 people upvoted this
Oh my god.
compared
It's
to
like,
the now 3 that have downvoted it.
oh my god. That reminds me. I always see this. I fucking hate this. I always see when people bring up John Wick 2 and you know the scene where they're like shooting silenced pistols at each other in the subway station.
I love that scene.
That scene is so cool, and I always see people being like, "How does nobody notice this happening?" I'm like, "Who gives a fuck?"
And Common being the big bad guy in that movie was amazing, and I wish that he was in more of John Wick movies.
Oh yeah, they shouldn't have killed him.
They kill him on a train too, don't they?
They
leave
do.
him seated on a train.
Yeah. Oh, little parallel there, but yeah, but it's the same thing. Like, whoa, how come nobody noticed them? Like, who cares? This is the coolest fucking shootout ever. Just silently,
It's so good.
just silently popping off shots, like discreetly with their hiding their gun with their jacket. Incredible. I hate these people with their stupid errors. I'm not mad though. I'm just disappointed. Anyway, it's time for dad jokes.
Yeah, I've got a really good one that I think you'll be very proud of, Matt.
All right. I also have a really good one that I think you'll be proud of.
And we didn't mention any of the limo stuff that Max was dreaming about. But he has a dream of opening a limo company that caters to famous people.
His cab driving is just temporary. He's only been doing it 12 years.
Hey, he'll break free of it. So my dad joke: Max opening a limo company is a bit of a stretch.
Oh God. Okay.
Thank you.
Here we go. Why shouldn't you become a hitman?
Why not?
Because it's a risky business.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's the movie where he's in the shirt.
Yeah.
And he's sliding.
Yeah, famous Tom Cruise movie, Risky Business. Well, I was proud of that when I came up with it today. Now you're making me feel like shit.
That is a really good one.
All right. Well, that's it for our double feature. What an incredible episode. Dare I say?
Doing it again.
No, I took a pause.
Sorry.
Dare I say, our best episode yet?
It was it was double better than the other ones.
It was 2 times as good. Because
Yeah.
you know the only thing that makes a movie podcast better and talking about movies, the only thing that makes movies better, the only thing that makes talking about movies better is talking about 2 movies.
Especially when they're as good as the 2 that we just talked about.
Yeah.
Is it time to spin that wheel? Spin that wheel.
It is. Here we go. What will we be watching for next episode, and what will you be able to watch along with us if whatever the wheel lands on is on a streaming service? Or who knows? Maybe you're a nice person who owns movies, physical media. Support physical media. And I'm not just saying that to get a Blu-ray sponsorship.
You can also pirate it if you want. I'm not just saying that for my pirate friends.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe some of these will one day be in the Criterion collection, and they'll let us into the closet.
Do you think they'll let us into the Criterion closet?
I would love to go to the Criterion closet, but I couldn't be trusted. I would take everything.
You know, the issue with me is anytime I watch one of those, someone will be like, "Oh, this film," and nine times out of 10, I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. I watched this one with my uncle in '89, and it just it informs so much of my acting.
It's good to discover new movies.
It is.
Do you think there's a limit there when they're like, okay, you can only take 6?
I think it depends on who you are. Like when Kojima was in there, they're like, just let him go. Let him have whatever he wants.
Yeah. How many movies do you think they'd let Tom Cruise take?
They'd let Tom Cruise live in the closet.
I don't think here's my thing. If Tom Cruise was in the Criterion closet, he'd either take everything or nothing, because he's that guy who's not going to like single out a movie because it would make the other movies feel bad.
Tom Cruise wouldn't need to go to the Criterion closet because he owns the Criterion closet.
Tom Cruise would be able to pick out his favorite child, but he couldn't pick out his favorite movie.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Which honestly, it's I don't blame him.
Oh, he needs to be a better father. He needs to have a better relationship with his daughter. You can love movies and still be a good dad.
People, look, I'm ride or die for Tom Cruise. He's a weird
Get it to-
guy. He's a weird guy, and he's involved in some shady shit. But I love him.
Get it together, Tom. Get it together for your daughter.
He's the
Come
only.
on,
He's
stop
the
being
only.
you too, Brad.
Brad. Is it wrong of me to say that is it wrong of me to say I'm okay at looking the other way of his Scientology and whatever crimes may come with that if he just keeps trying to kill himself on camera for
He's
our
gonna
amusement?
die. He's gonna die doing a stunt.
You think? I
He's
don't think.
gonna die doing a stunt. Someone's got like the insurance on the movies that he's in has to be out the wazoo.
Have you ever heard Matt Damon tell the story of when he asked Tom Cruise how he climbed the Burj Khalifa?
I have not.
Okay, so Matt Damon was on Conan once, and he was talking about how he was visiting the set of Edge of Tomorrow because he's friends with Emily Blunt, and they had dinner with Tom Cruise, and he was asking Tom Cruise, how'd you do this, right? And so in the story, he goes, so Tom is telling me, he goes, I lay out this whole plan. I've been dreaming up this stunt for 15 years. I go to the safety guy. I lay it out for him. I go, this is what I want to do. This is how I think we can do it. What do you think? The safety guy goes, no, we can't do that. It's too dangerous. Tom goes, so I get a new safety guy. And he's the producer of all his movies now. So he can just do it, right? Incredible.
I mean, if you're not happy with the safety guy you've got, get a new one who will tell you what you want to hear.
Oh, there's no way we're ever going to read in the news Tom Cruise has passed away peacefully in his sleep.
It's never gonna happen. Either stunt's gonna get him, or he's gonna turn his back on Scientology, and they're gonna get him.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to have a normal death. And honestly, I don't think he wants one.
He wants to go out balls blazing.
He's going to go out in a blaze of glory. He's going to have the greatest death of all time. I can already tell.
There's that image that went viral where he climbed the top of a radio tower or something, and so there's the image of him, and then there's an image of another
that's the Burj Khalifa.
So then there was an image of him on that, not really strapped in, just loosely hanging on. But then there was another actor who had climbed it and was holding on for
Will
dear
Smith.
fucking
It was
life.
Will Smith.
Was it Will Smith?
It was Will Smith holding on for dear life, completely strapped in.
Will's got too much to lose.
Yeah. Which is fine. If you're up, that's the tallest building in the world. If you're at the top, you should be strapped in. Any normal person would be. But Thomas Powers of Xenu Cruz, nope, not happening. If you give me that strap,
Ricky Bobby, save me, Tom Cruise.
If you give me that strap, I will kill you. All right, let's spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel.
All right. As always, I'll be doing the wheel sound effect myself because this wheel is not hooked up to any audio.
No need for post.
Well, speaking of people who might not be great guys, it is Burn After Reading.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Can you imagine how bad you had to fuck up that your kid named Pitt no longer wants the last name Pitt?
Oh, I don't know. But I'll tell you
all the
this.
advantages that would come with it.
I'll tell you this. He's great in this movie.
He's really good in this movie.
Yeah. I love this movie. He's
good in this movie, and this is a good movie.
Yeah.
What Brad Pitt doesn't need is Brad Pitt needs his daughter to hate him like he needs a hole in the head, which he doesn't need at all.
Oh yeah, I don't want to give away the lead here, but yeah, this is top tier Cohen's for me.
Is this the first one we've both already seen? No, we both saw Collateral already. Never mind. Oh, okay. Hey, another good movie.
Yeah,
and it's not streaming anywhere. So
is it not streaming anywhere?
Get your dollary dues ready. You can get it on Amazon Prime for $3.79.
Is it not streaming? I mean, I own this on Blu-ray, so no problem for me. Is it really? I feel like I saw this streaming somewhere not that long ago.
Things come and go so fast.
Burn After Reading. Oh yeah, it's not streaming. That sucks.
Oh, the late Richard Jenkins in it. Wait, Richard Jenkins is alive, right?
I'm almost positive.
Yes. Oh, he was born where I used to live. That's crazy.
Oh, nice. Oh, John Malkovich is incredible in this.
He's also good. Frances McDormand, also really fucking good in this. I forgot Tilda Sweden was in it. This is a really J.K. Simmons makes a small appearance.
Oh, I still quote J.K. Simmons.
What was there?
What'd we learn? I guess not to do it again.
This is a good movie. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do this one.
All right, everybody. If you want to watch along and see if we agree with you or not on this movie, get your pirate caps ready.
Hey, get on the
Yo ho!
We're sailing the 7 seas with the Coen brothers.
Drink up me hearties, yo ho! Or rent it or whatever. Or if you have the Blu-ray, it's good to own movies.
If you own the Blu-ray, mail it to my address at. No, this was a good double feature, and we're going into a good single feature.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right. If you haven't already, follow the show so you don't have to search for it every time, because that just seems annoying, right?
Yeah, follow it. That way it pops up in your podcast feed. We're on the socials.
Yeah. You can follow the show at Stand In Watch with an N. You can't put the and symbol in as your name for some reason.
You can't ampersand in the username. It's annoying.
Very disappointing. So it's Stand In Watch, the letter N. Capital S, Stand, capital N, capital W.
If people want to follow you, Matt, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at RealMFresh. They can find me on Twitch at RealMFresh. And they can follow me on YouTube at Rongo Pro. I'm starting to do some more videos on there. Still recording some Let's Plays with my buddy. Those will be up soon. But in the meantime, I'm doing game reviews now. I'm doing brutally honest game reviews for games I haven't played yet.
You had an Astrobot review just go up as of recording this.
Yes, it is up. I gave that game a 10. I'm excited to play it when I get it for my birthday in a couple months.
By the time this episode comes out, you might have it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I gave it a 10. Spoiler for my review. But go watch my review. Again, I haven't played it, so a lot of the details about the game in my review that I give didn't pan out to be correct, but I think they're fun. Maybe for the sequel. Maybe for the sequel, there will be God of War style threesome mini games.
That'll be fun. We can't wait to see more of your reviews.
Yeah. What about you, Nick? Where can they follow you?
On Twitter, or X, the Everything app, as some folks like to call it. You can find me at That Kaufman, all one word. You can also find me on YouTube and Twitch at Nick Fat Knight. I'm not very active over there, but maybe one day. And then if you feel like reading some of my pieces, I do game reviews on Game Chronicles, and then I also write satire pieces over on Hard Drive Magazine, so go check them out.
Oh yeah, I also write for Hard Drive Magazine.
You had a really good Elon Musk
I did
post go off.
We had 2 really great Elon Musk jokes go up. I wrote one of them, and the other one I didn't write, but I did help.
Written by some dude.
It's written by some dude who, before he pitched it, he came to me for advice, and I gave him advice to make it good enough to pitch, and then he did so, and I accepted it as a pitch, and then he wrote it, and I edited it, and published it, and it was a big hit. Not as big of a hit as mine, but what can you do?
He came to you crying, and he snot running down his nose, like, Matt, please help make me a better pitcher and a writer. And you said, I guess.
Yeah, but that's my job as editor.
It's really nice of you.
Yeah.
Helping the less talented writers.
Yeah. I don't need to do that for you. But for him,
I hope he hears this. And I'll know the exact moment he hears it, because he'll DM me.
He'll DM me.
By the way, did you blurb that Nepo baby out from a few weeks back?
I did.
Woo!
I went back and double checked. It was the Unforgiven episode, and I did forget to beep it, and I did now beep it.
Because I went off on that man, and as much as I love going off on that man, I can't do it in public.
Oh. All right, well, that's it for the show.
This is a good one.
This was a good one. Very good double feature.
Until we do another double feature. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll do another double feature next wheel. Every wheel will do one double feature.
Ooh. Oh, every wheel. Never mind.
Oh, you thought I said every week?
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Oh no, I'm not a madman. Anyway, so we have 11 movies left. 10 if you don't count Burn After Reading. You should count it because we haven't watched.
Wow, we're really rolling through this wheel.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to start asking people. We're gonna have to start getting lists from people on Twitter.
Yeah. 12
for
if you
more
count
for the next wheel.
12 if you count the movie that that other guy's gonna make us watch when we have him as a guest, because I promise he could be a guest.
Boo. We should end on that one since it's not technically on the wheel.
I figured, yeah, that'll be the last one because it's not on the wheel, and then any future guests will have to abide by the wheel.
They live by the wheel, they die by the wheel, just like us.
Yeah, if you're gonna be on this show, which by the way, you're welcome to be on this show. Well, not anybody. You have to be a somebody, and by somebody I mean if you are a person who wants to be on the show, you're a somebody. You got to abide by the wheel, except for this guy because I promised him.
This is the one guy that gets one.
Yeah, it's also a movie I've never
Everyone
seen, and he's very upset that I've never seen it.
You should see this movie. Let's not spoil it for the folks at home.
I think I've said it on this podcast before, but I don't remember, so I won't say it here.
The listeners don't have that good a memory. Let them guess.
Yeah, that's true. This episode, these come out weekly, so they don't everything. They're not used to memorizing things that long. Everything's all binging. Can't binge
Attention spans are short.
I guess
People are only hearing this podcast in 7-second increment pieces of it on TikTok.
I didn't post it to TikTok, so if they're listening to this in 10-second clips on TikTok with Subway Surfers gameplay, that means we have a big fan who's reposting our content.
You crazy son of a bitch.
Thanks for getting the word out, I guess.
We appreciate our anonymous TikTok fan.
Yeah, I'm positive that they're tagging us in the description and whatever, and they're not just stealing our content for themselves. Who would do that?
Who would do that?
Yeah.
Monsters.
If there's anything I learned from both of these movies, it's that I trust people not to do things like that because people are good.
Not all people, but some people.
I don't know why I have a big fake smile on my face while saying that. We don't do video.
Not yet.
Oh.
Maybe if we get enough people to give us money.
Yeah. So tell your friends, tell your family, fuck the algorithm.
Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend. Your stars don't mean shit. They're fucking useless.
Yeah.
Fucking useless. You fucking give me any fucking stars, I'll fucking find you and kick your ass.
Yeah. Although, I mean, we would appreciate 5 stars if you're so inclined.
But I will find you and kick your ass.
Yeah. Even if they give a 5-star?
Hey, I've got a knuckle sandwich with 5 fingers over here for
Okay.
5-star fucks.
So no matter how many stars you give us, Nick is going to come and kick your ass. Which
Yeah, so fucking if you're gonna give us 5, if you're gonna give us stars, you better make it fucking count because I'm gonna make you fucking sing.
Right. Well, you know what? We're really giving incentive to the BDSM fetishes out there to give us a 5-star rating.
You won't need a safe word by the time I'm done with you.
Well, on that lovely note,
that was a murder joke, not a more cancelable joke, by the way.
I only took it as a murder joke.
Because I'm gonna murder you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna murder you.
Yeah. On that lovely note, we'll see you next week for Burn After Reading.
Burn the end of this podcast before posting.
What did we learn?
Not to do it again.